Maya's childhood unfolded in a vibrant jungle, a tapestry woven from shades of emerald and gold. The trees towered above her like ancient sentinels, their gnarled roots forming natural bridges between the rich, dark earth and the sprawling canopy overhead. Sunlight filtered through the leaves, casting dappled shadows that danced across the forest floor, creating an enchanting mosaic that captivated her imagination. In this wild paradise, the air was thick with the harmonious symphony of chirping crickets, distant bird calls, and the rustling of unseen creatures. Maya would often sit on a fallen log, entranced by the frenetic energy around her, as butterflies flitted by and monkeys swung playfully from branch to branch. Each day felt like a new adventure waiting to be discovered, with every nook and cranny of the jungle offering secrets hidden from the outside world. Maya's home was a small wooden cottage, nestled at the edge of this lush expanse. The walls were adorned with colorful murals painted by her mother, depictions of local flora and fauna that celebrated the natural beauty surrounding them. Her father often told stories of the spirits of the jungle, guardian entities that watched over the creatures and the land. These tales ignited a sense of wonder within Maya, instilling in her a deep respect for nature and its mysteries. As she roamed through dense underbrush, Maya learned to navigate the twists and turns of the jungle like an intrepid explorer. She marveled at towering kapok trees that seemed to scrape the sky, their thick trunks sheltering countless species. Streams bubbled nearby, water sparkling under the sun's embrace. These were playgrounds. She would spend hours wading through cool waters, collecting smooth stones and marveling at colorful fish darting beneath the surface. The vibrant flora captured her attention just as much as the fauna. Maya delightfully plucked ripe fruits hanging from branches, savoring the sweetness that burst in her mouth. She could identify fragrant spices and flowers by their scent alone, recalling her mother's guidance while helping in their small kitchen. Yet amidst all this beauty, there was a sense of mystique. The jungle held an allure that felt both inviting and intimidating. There were paths known only to her, a mix of animal trails that led deeper into uncharted territory. She followed these trails with a mix of excitement and caution, ever aware of the jungle's unpredictability. From time to time, she encountered peculiar sights, a family of deer grazing peacefully or a rare bird perched high above in its nest. Each encounter deepened her bond with this wild world. However, it wasn't just the flora and fauna that shaped Maya's experience. It was also the whispering winds that seemed to carry with them secrets from generations past. They murmured through leaves like gentle voices reminding her that she was part of something much larger than herself, a web of life where every being played a role. The jungle cradled her dreams and fears alike. It was an everlasting canvas where each day brought new colors. Even though she was surrounded by beauty, there were moments when shadows loomed large, when a thunderous roar of a distant storm would send shivers down her spine, or when nightfall cast an eerie stillness over the land. Despite any trepidation she might have felt, she found solace in knowing that she had allies within this enchanting realm. A sense of belonging enveloped her as she explored every nook and cranny of her childhood sanctuary. For here in this vibrant haven, she was not merely a girl. She was part of a greater story unfolding amid the whispering leaves and timeless trees, a story that would intertwine fatefully with that of a bear destined to become more than just a companion, but family. As a young girl, Maya was filled with an insatiable curiosity that drove her to explore the world around her. Every morning, as golden rays of sunlight streamed through her window, she would leap from her straw mat, ready for the day's adventures. The small village where she lived was nestled on the edge of the jungle, a humble collection of wooden huts with thatched roofs. Villagers were familiar faces, whose laughter and stories mingled with the sounds of nature, creating a comforting backdrop to her childhood. Maya's heart raced at the thought of discovering something new each day. Her boundless energy often led her beyond the confines of their village into the embrace of the jungle that loomed invitingly just steps away. The villagers appreciated her zest, but also warned her gently about venturing too far alone. The jungle is unpredictable, they would say, yet Maya felt an irresistible pull towards its mysteries. Her days often began with gathering wildflowers along the footpaths leading into the forest. Each flower had its own story in her imagination. Some were magical sprites with healing powers, while others were shy creatures hiding until she could uncover their secrets. She would braid them into colorful crowns and wear them proudly, feeling like a true queen of her realm as she wandered deeper into nature's playground. Maya discovered hidden paths that wound through thick underbrush and over moss-covered rocks. With each step, she marveled at how things changed within mere feet. One moment, she could be beneath the staggering branches of towering trees, and the next, find herself skipping across babbling brooks lined with smooth pebbles. Each adventure incited a rush of exhilaration like no other. One particularly vivid memory stood out from her early years. A moment when she stumbled upon a family of monkeys swinging joyfully from branch to branch. Instead of running away in fear or awe, Maya climbed a low-hanging branch alongside them and began mimicking their playful antics. The monkeys paused to observe this peculiar young human before joining in her merriment. This encounter solidified Maya's belief that all beings shared a connection, a bond woven through curiosity and joy. Her spirit also drew her to observe creatures more timid than monkeys. She often spent evenings sitting quietly by the water's edge to watch deer come down to drink. Their graceful movements filled her with admiration and respect for their vulnerability. In those moments of stillness, Maya learned patience and the importance of being present in nature's rhythm. The jungle was not without its dangers. Sometimes storms rolled through suddenly, lashing winds against trees and cracking branches like thunderous applause. Yet even in those moments, Maya's adventurous spirit refused to be quelled. Instead, she saw it as an opportunity to understand nature's power. The way the wind danced violently, yet brilliantly reminded her that life was filled with contrasts. Maya thrived on exploring and learning about every aspect of jungle life. She often set up little projects, from building tiny animal homes using twigs and leaves to collecting rainwater in hollowed-out coconuts to observe how different plants reacted to moisture levels. Her inquisitive mind sought knowledge in every encounter, speaking softly to birds as if they understood her questions about their world. Through these formative experiences, Maya forged an unbreakable connection with nature, a bond that transcended language or time. Each exploration deepened her understanding of life itself, resilience against challenges and curiosity as its guiding light. Little did she know how these traits would shape not only who she became, but also lay the groundwork for a future reunion that would change everything. The meeting with a bear who had once been lost in childhood memories, but was destined to find her again in this vast wilderness they both called home. One sunny afternoon, driven by an overwhelming sense of adventure and curiosity, Maya wandered deeper into the jungle than she ever had before. The air was thick with the scent of damp earth and blossoming flowers, each inhalation invigorating her spirit as she left behind familiar trails. She felt a thrill coursing through her veins, urging her to explore uncharted territory where the shadows under the trees grew deeper and the sounds of the jungle pulsed with a new rhythm. As she moved through dense foliage, Maya suddenly paused at the sound of gentle rustling nearby. Her heart raced as she crouched low to avoid detection, her breath caught in her throat. There, nestled among a thicket of ferns, was a small bear cub, its soft fur glistening in the dappled sunlight like rich chocolate. It was no bigger than she was, its wide eyes illuminated with innocence and wonder mirrored her own. Maya remained still, captivated by this unexpected encounter. The bear cub played obliviously, batting at leaves that hung just above its head, tumbling over itself in the excitement of exploration. In that instant, the world around them fell away. There were no thoughts of fear or danger, only pure delight at witnessing nature's beauty in its most innocent form. After several minutes of quiet observation, Maya took a careful step forward, drawn by an inexplicable pull towards this little creature. The cub paused mid-play, sensing her presence but not showing fear. Their eyes met, one filled with childlike innocence and curiosity, the other reflecting awe and affection for this captivating being. Slowly, Maya knelt down to appear smaller and less threatening. "Hello there," she whispered softly, her voice barely loud enough to break the serene sounds of the jungle. "Are you lost?" To her surprise, the bear cub tilted its head quizzically at her words, as if trying to understand their meaning. Maya felt an instant connection, a silent communication bridging their worlds. She reached in her pocket for a piece of dried fruit she had collected earlier. Offering it cautiously in her outstretched hand, she watched as the cub sniffed the air before tentatively approaching her. In one gentle motion, it leaned forward and captured the morsel with its tiny paws, munching happily while brightly colored hummingbirds flitted nervously above them. Maya chuckled quietly as tiny bare teeth crunched through the sweet treat. It was a charming sight that made her heart swell with joy. Their bond began to deepen with each moment they spent together. The bear cub would playfully nuzzle against her knee before life beckoned it back into playfulness, climbing up nearby trees or rolling in soft patches of grass. Maya couldn't help but join in on its frolics. Together they twirled around in circles until laughter filled the air, their innocent giggles echoing amid the tall trees like a symphony composed by nature itself. Time seemed to vanish as they lost themselves in simple joys, the warmth of sun filtering through leaves above them and shadows dancing beneath their feet created a magical space where anything felt possible. In this enchanting world where bears could be friends and dreams merged seamlessly with reality, they forged an understanding that transcended words. But as much as Maya wished she could stay in this blissful moment forever, she felt a twinge of awareness reminding her that dusk would soon descend upon the jungle. It was time to return home, yet leaving was bittersweet. As she stood up slowly to say goodbye to her newfound friend, that little bear tilted its head again as if sensing her reluctance. "Promise me you'll stay safe," Maya whispered gently before turning to leave. With one last glance over her shoulder, she caught sight of the bear cub watching her with wide eyes filled with understanding and trust, a moment etched in both their hearts that would resonate far beyond this encounter. And so began their extraordinary bond, an innocent interaction that marked not just a meeting between girl and bear, but paved the way for a friendship destined to endure through time and trials alike in ways they could never have imagined yet to come. As the seasons changed, so did the bond between Maya and the bear cub, whom she affectionately named Covey. What began as a fleeting encounter blossomed into a friendship that grew stronger with every shared adventure. Over the years, their connection deepened, and they became inseparable companions in the heart of the jungle. Maya would often race through the underbrush, her laughter ringing out like music as Covey chased after her, his paws thumping on the ground. Each playful moment was a celebration of their unique friendship, whether it was splashing in puddles after a rainstorm or climbing trees to survey their lush kingdom from above. Every experience felt magical. As Covey grew from a curious cub into a strong young bear, his playful antics only intensified, showcasing a spirit as vibrant as Maya's. One of Maya's favorite memories was when they discovered an ancient banyan tree. Its sprawling roots formed natural seats where they would sit for hours. Underneath its branches, Maya would share stories about far-off lands and her dreams of becoming an explorer, while Covey listened attentively as if he understood every word. In those moments, the world outside faded away. Nothing existed but their shared laughter and hopes. As they explored deeper into the jungle together, Maya began to appreciate not only Covey's playful nature, but also his strength. Whenever Maya faced challenges, be it climbing steep slopes or navigating rocky paths, Covey was always by her side, encouraging her with gentle nudges and warm gazes. He became a protector, offering comfort during storms or when wild animals roamed nearby. Their bond had shifted seamlessly from mere playmates to partners navigating life's adventures together. But it wasn't just Maya who learned valuable lessons from Covey. He too absorbed wisdom from their time together. Watching her navigate the jungle with grace and confidence inspired him to embrace his own instincts. He learned how to forage for food alongside her, mastering the art of picking ripe fruits while she taught him about the different plants that thrived in their home, a mutual exchange of knowledge that strengthened their friendship. The seasons passed swiftly. With each growing year, Covey transformed from an innocent cub into a majestic bear, his presence commanding yet gentle. Yet despite his size and strength, he remained attuned to Maya's needs, never breaking their playful spirit even as he matured into adulthood. The two shared countless sun-drenched afternoons, lying in meadows filled with flowers or watching vibrant sunsets paint the sky in shades of orange and pink. However, as Covey reached adulthood, an unspoken awareness settled over them both. Soon their paths would inevitably diverge. The once carefree days would give way to new realities that loomed on the horizon. Yet neither of them spoke about it. Instead, they continued to savor every moment together. The joy of frolicking through fields or finding solace beside the shimmering river where time seemed to stand still. On one particularly poignant day, as they lounged beneath their beloved banyan tree, bathed in golden sunlight, Maya looked at Covey with a mix of affection and sadness. "No matter where life takes us," she promised softly, "you'll always be my best friend." Covey tilted his head slightly, as if understanding her words, while nuzzling against her shoulder in response, a gesture that spoke volumes more than any words could convey. In that sacred space beneath the tree's sheltering branches, they solidified their promise to one another. No distance or time could ever erase what they had built together. Thus unfolded an extraordinary chapter within their lives, a deepening friendship defined by laughter and trust, laying a foundation for unforeseen challenges ahead, while reassuring them both that true bonds can withstand whatever trials may come in time's unyielding march forward. As the years flew by, Maya and Covey's friendship flourished, serving as a source of joy and comfort in their lives. But one fateful day, a shadow fell over their idyllic existence. Maya's parents gathered her in the small wooden hut they called home, their faces tight with concern. They explained that they had decided to move to a nearby city for better opportunities, a chance for a brighter future that they believed was necessary for their family. Maya felt her heart sink at the news. The jungle had been her sanctuary, and Covey her closest friend. The very thought of leaving made her feel as if the vibrant world around her was dimming. Her mind raced with images of the adventures they had shared, dancing in the rain, lounging beneath their beloved banyan tree, and exploring every hidden corner of the jungle. How could she possibly leave all that behind? In the days leading up to the move, Maya tried to hold onto every moment with Covey. She spent hours frolicking through the forest, replaying all their cherished memories in her mind, desperately wishing she could freeze time. As she wandered familiar paths one last time, each step felt heavier than the last. It was like saying goodbye to a part of herself. On the final evening before departure, Maya made her way to their special spot beneath the banyan tree. The sun set in vibrant hues, casting golden light over everything it touched. With tears brimming in her eyes, she called out softly for Covey, feeling a mix of excitement and sorrow twist within her chest. When Covey arrived, he seemed to sense her distress. He padded toward her with an expression of genuine concern, nuzzling against her leg as if trying to comfort his friend. Maya knelt down and wrapped her arms around his thick neck, feeling his warmth envelop her like a protective shield against the impending change. "I'm going to miss you so much," she whispered into his fur, tears spilling down her cheeks as she clutched him tightly. "You'll always be my best friend." In that moment, she wished more than anything that they could remain together forever. Covey responded with gentle nudges and soft whines, as if he understood every word she spoke. Their bond transcended language. It was woven from shared laughter and unspoken promises. Yet reality loomed large. Maya's family was determined to move away for what they believed was best for their future. As night fell and the stars twinkled above them like distant lanterns, Maya sat quietly with Covey by her side, both lost in thoughts about what lay ahead. She couldn't shake off the feeling of dread that curled like smoke inside her heart. Would she ever return to this place? Would Covey forget her? The next morning came too soon. As dawn broke over the horizon, casting pale light through the trees, Maya's family prepared for their departure. With one last look at the jungle that had cradled their childhood dreams and wild adventures, they loaded their belongings onto a small cart. Maya took a deep breath and turned back one final time toward the sprawling green landscape where everything felt alive, a living memory filled with joy, and searched desperately for Covey among the trees. Her heart raced as she spotted him standing at a distance. He looked larger than life against the backdrop of vibrant foliage. Maya, her mother's voice pulled at her attention like an anchor. Reluctantly tearing herself away from Covey's gaze felt like ripping away a piece of herself, a painful separation she would carry with her forever. As they drove away from their home, nestled on the edge of the jungle, Maya pressed her face against the window, watching until Covey faded from view among swaying trees. A profound longing gripped her heart, a void left by separation from a friend who had become family. In that moment of leaving behind both place and companion, something deep within Maya shifted. This goodbye would mark not just an end, but also fuel hope. Hope that someday fate would weave their paths together again amid this vast world they both belonged to in spirit. Life in the city was a world apart from the vibrant jungle that had once cradled Maya's childhood. As she settled into her new surroundings, the cacophony of car horns, bustling crowds, and distant sirens replaced the soothing sounds of chirping birds and rustling leaves. The concrete landscape felt alien to her, a far cry from the lush greens and earthy browns that had painted her early years. At first, Maya found it disorienting. The tall buildings loomed high above her, casting long shadows that felt like reminders of her lost haven. The parks in the city were mere patches of grass compared to the sprawling wilderness of her former home. She missed the freedom of running through open fields, climbing trees, and the comforting presence of Covey, who had been more than a friend. He was her confidant and protector. Despite these challenges, Maya tried to adapt to her new life. School became a significant part of her routine, a place filled with laughter and friendships that slowly began to bloom. Yet even among her peers, she often felt a sense of isolation, as if part of her remained tethered to the past. During recess, while others played games or chatted about their weekends, Maya would find herself daydreaming about the jungle, picturing Covey's playful antics and their carefree afternoons beneath the banyan tree. At night, she would lay in bed surrounded by city noises, distant chatter, the hum of traffic, and the occasional bark of a dog. Yet what enveloped her thoughts were memories of Covey. She recalled how he would nuzzle against her whenever she felt sad or scared, his warm presence offering comfort on stormy nights. In contrast, here she was alone in her room, wrestling with feelings of longing and nostalgia for a time when life had felt simpler. Maya often brought mementos from her jungle days into this urban existence. A small stone she had polished by the riverbank or a dried flower pressed in a book. These tokens held stories intertwined with laughter and adventure that reminded her of who she truly was. During art class, she would draw vivid scenes from her memories. The dazzling colors of blooming orchids, Covey playing amidst cascading leaves, or sunsets painting vibrant hues across the sky. Her teachers recognized her talent and encouraged her to explore these themes further. Yet Maya couldn't help but feel that no canvas could ever fully capture the magic of those moments. Despite any struggles she faced in adapting to city life, Maya did find solace in exploring parks or botanical gardens whenever she could. She sought out patches of greenery amidst the concrete jungle, places where flowers bloomed and trees stood tall enough to evoke memories long buried. Each visit became a pilgrimage back to nature. There she could breathe deeply and close her eyes, imagining herself back in Covey's company. As time passed, Maya's heart grew resilient but remained tethered to the past. Whenever she saw bears featured in books or documentaries, a pang shot through her chest, a reminder of Covey's gentle spirit and their shared adventures. She often whispered secrets into the wind during quiet moments or gazed at the stars above as if hoping they could carry messages across distance. Yet beneath it all simmered an unwavering hope. Hope for a future reunion with Covey that one day might come true. As she navigated this new chapter filled with unknowns and challenges, thoughts of returning to the jungle never left her mind. They serve as both an anchor and a guiding star towards something greater. In this dichotomy between urban life and cherished memories lay the essence of who Maya was becoming. An explorer not just of nature, but of her own heart. A heart that carried within it an unbreakable bond forged through love and adventure long ago amidst towering trees and wild laughter shared under an open sky. The years in the city had passed like a blur, each day blending into the next while Maya clutched tightly to the memories of her jungle days. Yet as she grew older, the whispers of her past grew louder, calling her back to the vibrant world where she had once danced with freedom. It was a lingering ache in her heart that transformed into a resolute decision. She would return to the jungle after 12 long years. It was during a particularly quiet evening, with stars twinkling like diamonds against the deep blue canvas of the sky, that Maya made her choice. Sitting on her bedroom floor, surrounded by sketches and mementos from her time in the jungle, an overwhelming sense of longing washed over her. She could almost hear Covey's playful laughter echoing through the trees and feel the warmth of the sun filtering through thick canopies. The thought ignited a spark within her. It was time to reconnect not just with nature, but with herself. With renewed determination, Maya immersed herself in planning for her journey. Despite the bustling city life around her, she found solace in mapping out the familiar routes she had once traversed as a child. Each line drawn brought back memories. The sprawling fields she had run through, the winding paths leading to hidden treasures, and, of course, the majestic banyan tree that stood tall like an old friend waiting to welcome her home. On the day of her departure, excitement tinged with nervousness coursed through her veins. Maya felt as if she were stepping into a dream filled with possibilities and reunions. As she took a deep breath and left behind the confines of her urban life, the anticipation of immersing herself back in the wild made her heart race. Arriving at the edge of the jungle felt surreal. The air was thick with sweet scents of blooming flowers and damp earth, refreshing reminders of everything she missed. Memories flooded back as she stepped through lush greenery. Everything felt both familiar and foreign after so many years away. The vibrant chirping of birds embraced her like a long-lost melody, sparking joy deep within. With every step deeper into the jungle, Maya felt more alive than she had in years. She navigated through thick underbrush and climbed over fallen logs, each movement reigniting echoes of childhood wonderment. She remembered how it felt to climb trees and swing from branches, to be one with all that was around her. The thrill of discovery surged anew as she meandered along paths that seemed both unchanged and yet transformed by time. Maya finally arrived at their shared spot, the grand banyan tree where they had spent countless afternoons together. Standing before it now, she marveled at its size. It seemed even more impressive than she remembered. The sight filled her with warmth as she approached its sprawling roots and gently laid a hand against its sturdy trunk. It felt like coming home. Yet within this rush of nostalgia lay a bittersweet realization. Covey was not there to greet her as he once had been. A pang of longing struck deep within her heart at the thought that their bond had been put on hold for so long. Would he remember her? Would he still wait for her among these trees? Determined to find him, Maya called out his name into the forest. Covey! Her voice echoed through the branches and leaves, blending with rustling sounds around her, seeking an answer from the wild. Days turned into weeks as Maya immersed herself in this world again. The jungle became both a comfort and a quest. She ventured to places they used to explore together, retracing steps that felt sacred, as if each footprint held stories waiting to be rediscovered. With every passing moment spent under the sheltering canopy, hope blossomed anew within Maya's heart. A belief that one day soon, fate would weave their paths together again amidst this vibrant tapestry they both cherished so deeply. And so began her journey back into nature's embrace. A journey not just reclaiming lost memories, but also reigniting an unbreakable bond that time could never truly sever. With each step deeper into the jungle, Maya's heart raced with anticipation, a mixture of excitement and anxiety coursing through her veins. The familiar sense of damp earth and blooming flowers enveloped her, igniting long-buried memories of laughter and playful innocence shared with Covey. As the sun filtered through the dense canopy, casting playful patterns on the ground, memories danced before her eyes. Flashes of momentous days spent exploring, climbing trees, and frolicking in the sunshine. Yet this journey was laced with uncertainty. Would Covey remember her after all these years? Would he be waiting for her? Or had life pulled him away from their cherished meeting spots? Each thought heightened the tension within her as she navigated paths that felt foreign yet comforting. With every rustle of the leaves and distant call of a bird, she imagined it was Covey responding to her presence. As she approached the grand banyan tree, a wave of nostalgia swept over her. It stood like a sentinel in the heart of the jungle, massive and timeless, just as she remembered. Maya paused, placing her hand against its sturdy trunk as memories washed over her. She could almost feel Covey's presence beside her, thrilled to reconnect. "Covey!" she called, her voice trembling slightly with emotion. The jungle held its breath in response to her plea. A profound stillness enveloped the surroundings, leaving only the sounds of her heartbeat in her ears. Time seemed to stretch as she anxiously awaited a reply. Was he out there, hidden among the thick underbrush? The anticipation was almost unbearable. Just then, she heard a noise, a deep rustling coming from the nearby bushes. Her heart leaped into her throat as she turned toward the sound, hope blooming within her chest. The bushes parted slowly, and there he was, Covey, now a powerful young bear with glossy fur and a confident stance. Time had transformed him from a playful cub into a majestic creature that embodied strength and wisdom. For a moment, all was still. Maya and Covey locked eyes across the clearing, recognition dawning on both of them, as if no time had passed at all. Maya's heart swelled with joy as Covey hesitated, sniffing the air in disbelief, before bursting forth from the thicket with exuberance. The memories of their childhood adventures surged back in an instant. The laughter, the playfulness, everything flooding back into view anew. "Covey!" Maya cried out again, tears of happiness spilling down her cheeks. Covey bounded toward her, leaping into the air excitedly with a rumble that filled the air with warmth. Maya knelt down as he approached, extending her arms wide just in time to envelop him in an embrace that carried all the longing and love of their years apart. Covey nuzzled against her shoulder, his powerful presence wrapping around her like a comforting quilt. "Oh, I missed you," she whispered between breaths, laughing through her tears as they reveled in their reunion. The bond they shared felt unbreakable amidst the joys of rediscovery. They spent hours together exploring their old haunts, romping through tall grasses, splashing in streams, and chasing each other through sun-drenched meadows. Each moment felt precious and eternal. As Maya marveled at Covey's grown stature and newfound strength, she realized how much both of them had changed yet stayed true to their roots, an unbreakable connection forged through love and adventure. The jungle echoed with their joyful reunion. The melodies of birds became a chorus, celebrating their friendship rekindled. For Maya, this moment felt like coming full circle, a tender reminder that true bonds can defy time and distance. In those precious moments together, every worry melted away. Maya was finally home, not just in the jungle, but in the heart of a friend who would always remain by her side. As Maya and Covey spent time together in the jungle, The changes each had experienced over the years became increasingly apparent, deepening their bond while also revealing how much they had grown. While the essence of their friendship remained intact, both had embarked on journeys that shaped their identities in profound ways. Maya marveled at Covey's transformation. No longer the playful cub she remembered, he had evolved into a magnificent bear, strong and majestic, with a confident stride that spoke of maturity. His fur gleamed in the sunlight, and his stature commanded respect among the other animals. It was clear he had adapted to the jungle's challenges, honing his instincts and skills in ways Maya couldn't have imagined. Watching him navigate the terrain with grace and authority filled her with admiration. He embodied the wild spirit of nature itself. Yet Covey was not just a creature of strength. There was a newfound inner wisdom reflected in his deep brown eyes. They seemed to carry stories of his adventures, of encounters with other animals, of surviving storms, and perhaps moments of solitude where he learned to rely on himself. Maya found herself eager to hear about these experiences, curious to learn what lessons Covey had gleaned during her absence. "Covey," she began one afternoon as they lounged beneath their favorite banyan tree, "what have you learned since I've been gone?" Her voice was filled with genuine interest. Covey responded with a low rumble, almost like a chuckle, before sharing tales of his explorations beyond their old haunts. He spoke of foraging for food during lean seasons and how he learned to befriend smaller creatures who initially feared him. Each story revealed layers of growth. He had become not only a protector, but also a nurturer within the ecosystem of the jungle. In turn, Maya opened up about her own journey. Her years in the city filled with new experiences, but also marked by longing for her roots. She recounted tales of school life, where she found solace in art as a means to express herself when words fell short. The memories poured out, the loneliness she felt amidst crowds, punctuated by vibrant moments spent sketching junglescapes that kept Covey alive in her heart. As they exchanged stories, it became evident how different environments had sculpted them into who they were today, a bond reinforced through shared experiences, yet enriched by individual growth. Maya recognized that while she missed the wildness of her childhood freedom, living in the city taught her resilience and creativity as she navigated challenges far from her beloved jungle. The playful banter returned as they roamed familiar trails together once more, their steps echoing laughter through sunlit meadows and shaded paths alike. They climbed trees just like old times, but now with a sense of mutual respect. Maya watched Covey scale branches effortlessly while learning from his confidence and agility. During one particularly memorable outing near a babbling brook, they splashed water at each other playfully, letting go of any lingering doubts about how time might have changed them. The joy mirrored their childhood antics, but carried an added richness. It felt like celebrating not just their reunion, but also honoring their growth apart. Maya appreciated how Covey's affectionate nudges reminded her that some bonds remain steadfast even amid change, that love thrives despite distance or time apart. Likewise, Covey seemed to sense Maya's resilience. He admired how she ventured back into unknown territory after years away from home, a testament to courage they both shared. As days passed under warm sun and gentle rain alike, they explored new corners of the jungle together, each adventure unveiling layers of discovery about themselves and each other. In these moments of exploration stood an undeniable truth. While both may have diverged on separate paths during their time apart, their connection remained unbroken, a testament that true friendships can blossom anew amidst change and growth. As they reveled in this beautiful tapestry woven from past joys and present discoveries, it became remarkably clear, together once more beneath the verdant canopy where it all began, and ready for whatever lay ahead. They were home. As Maya and Covey settled back into their friendship, the jungle became a realm of adventure and discovery once more. The days were filled with exhilarating escapades, each venture a testament to their rekindled bond. They explored trails both familiar and new, diving into the heart of the wilderness where surprises awaited at every turn. One bright morning, Covey led Maya to a hidden waterfall she had never seen before. Tucked away behind thick foliage, the majestic cascade spilled over rocks in a silvery rush, forming a crystalline pool below. The air was cool and refreshing, infused with the scent of damp earth and wildflowers. Maya watched in awe as sunlight danced off the water's surface, creating rainbows that sparkled like jewels. "Let's swim," Covey exclaimed, his eyes twinkling with mischief as he bounded toward the water. Maya giggled, shedding her sandals and rushing after him. They plunged into the cool depths together, splashing and playfully bumping against each other as laughter echoed joyfully around them. It felt liberating to be enveloped by nature once again. The worries of their separate lives melted away in that shimmering moment. After they dried off beneath the warm sun, they began exploring the area surrounding the waterfall. Maya discovered vibrant orchids nestled among rocks and delicate ferns thriving in shadowy nooks. With each flower she admired or insect she observed, Covey patiently listened as she shared her newfound knowledge about the ecosystem. He appeared more than just a friend. He was a fellow explorer eager to learn from Maya's curiosity about the world around them. It wasn't long before they stumbled upon another treasure hidden within the greenery, a grove of fruit-bearing trees laden with ripe mangoes. The sweet aroma wafted through the air as Maya gazed up at the branches heavy with golden fruit, her heart racing at the prospect of indulging in these delicious treats. Covey grinned knowingly. He began to climb effortlessly while Maya cheered him on from below. With agile movements characteristic of wildlife in harmony with nature, he quickly reached for the juiciest mangoes and dropped them down to her one by one. Each time she caught a falling fruit, her excitement soared higher. "Here you go. Perfectly ripe," he called out as he tossed another one down. Maya couldn't contain her laughter. It felt like old times when they would playfully help each other gather snacks from jungle bounties. The joy of sharing simple moments brought them even closer together as they feasted on sweet mangoes while basking under dappled sunlight. One of their most thrilling adventures unfolded when they decided to tackle a steep hill rising high above the valley floor. The climb was challenging. Thick vines curled around tree trunks, making their ascent slow yet rewarding. Encouraged by Covey's playful nudges urging her onward and upward, Maya felt renewed determination surge within her. Finally reaching the top was like standing on top of the world. They were greeted by an expansive view that took Maya's breath away. Rolling hills draped in verdant forest stretched endlessly toward distant mountains tinged with shades of blue. It was a sight that evoked powerful emotions, both nostalgic for her childhood exploration and grateful for this moment shared with Covey. As they stood together gazing at nature's splendor before them, it became clear that this journey was more than just exploration. It was an adventure grounded in friendship forged through time apart and deepened through shared experiences. In navigating both challenges and joys side by side, whether scaling hills or cooling off under waterfalls, they fostered a deeper connection that celebrated not only their history, but also their newfound resilience together in facing whatever lay ahead. As twilight painted the sky in hues of orange and purple during one evening outing, Maya felt contentment swell inside her. Beneath this canopy of stars, she found herself anchored once again within this wild paradise, a place full of wonders waiting to be discovered anew alongside Covey, who would forever walk by her side through every twist and turn life had in store. As Maya and Covey continued their adventures in the jungle, they not only enjoyed the beauty of nature, but also learned valuable life lessons that would shape their understanding of friendship and resilience. Each experience revealed deeper truths about loyalty, the strength found in vulnerability, and the enduring connection between humans and nature. One afternoon, while exploring a dense thicket, Maya stumbled upon a patch of wildflowers that had been trampled by a recent storm. The delicate blooms lay in disarray, their vibrant colors dulled by muddy earth. Moved by the sight, she felt a pang of sadness for these flowers, which reminded her of the beauty she once took for granted. Covey noticed her distress and approached her gently. "They can still bloom again," he rumbled softly, nudging a few untouched flowers that stood tall nearby. "Nature has a way of recovering. It's all part of growing." Maya pondered his words as they worked together to clear away the debris. They lifted fallen branches and brushed away mud, allowing the flowers to breathe once more. This act of nurturing taught her about resilience, not just in plants but within themselves. Life could be challenging, filled with unexpected storms, but also held the promise of renewal and growth if one was willing to care for what truly mattered. Their bond deepened further during an encounter with a family of monkeys playing in the trees above them. One particular young monkey became stuck on a high branch after miscalculating his leap. The cries for help echoed through the jungle, and Maya felt an instinctual urge to assist. Covey watched closely as she called out soothing words to encourage the frightened creature. "Sometimes it's okay to ask for help." Maya spoke softly as she used her knowledge from city life to devise a plan. Together with Covey's strength, they created a makeshift bridge using vines and fallen branches that allowed the little monkey to climb safely down. When the young monkey finally reached solid ground, he jumped into his mother's waiting arms, chattering joyously. This moment resonated deeply with Maya. It highlighted how important it was to rely on others during tough times, and how showing compassion could forge connections even among different species. Days turned into weeks filled with laughter and learning as they navigated challenges side by side, relying on each other's strengths while embracing their vulnerabilities. Even as they faced obstacles like navigating steep paths or crossing swift streams, they always emerged stronger together. Each adventure reinforced Maya's understanding that true loyalty is unwavering. It is standing by someone through thick and thin, while celebrating each success along the way. During quiet evenings beneath star-laden skies, Maya reflected on how nature mirrored their friendship, a complex web woven together by trust and kindness. The jungle itself became a metaphor for life's unpredictable journey, beautiful yet sometimes harsh, filled with wonder but requiring resilience to navigate its twists and turns. As summer faded into autumn, Maya also began learning from Covey about the interconnectedness of all living beings, how each creature played an essential role within this vast ecosystem that thrived around them. She watched raptly as he demonstrated how to forage for food without disturbing habitats or harming others' lives. Every action rooted in respect for nature's rhythm. Through these meaningful lessons nurtured under towering trees and expansive skies, Maya recognized profound truths about loyalty, not merely promising support, but actively demonstrating it through actions rooted in love and understanding. Covey's presence reminded her regularly that they were both guardians of this beautiful world they shared. Embodying qualities learned from each other strengthened both their spirits while paving new paths forward together. In these moments filled with discovery, whether tending to wildflowers or rescuing lost creatures, they forged a bond more resilient than ever before. A bond built not just on joyful experiences, but also on shared lessons learned through growth amid nature's embrace. A testament to their loyalty toward one another, forever intertwined within life's grand tapestry. As the sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the jungle, Maya and Covey settled by the edge of the babbling brook they had visited many times since their reunion. The air was filled with the sounds of crickets singing and leaves rustling softly in the gentle breeze, the perfect setting for reflection. They felt a sense of peace as they basked in the beauty of their surroundings, grateful for the moments they had shared together. Now that they were reunited, Maya felt a profound sense of belonging. The jungle no longer felt like a distant memory. It was alive with adventure, laughter, and the comfort of companionship. As she glanced at Covey, who lay sprawled next to her with a contented expression, she recognized how much their friendship had transformed and deepened since that first day 12 years ago. "Covey," she began, breaking the tranquil silence, "I've missed so much while I was gone. It's like I left a part of myself behind." Covey lifted his head to look at her, his deep brown eyes reflecting understanding and warmth. "We've both changed," he replied softly, "but our bond remains strong through time and distance. That's what makes it special." Maya nodded in agreement, contemplating the lessons they had learned together over the past few weeks. How loyalty held them steadfast through separation, and how resilience allowed them to adapt to life's unpredictability. Their experiences not only reignited their connection, but also encouraged each to embrace individual growth. As twilight enveloped them in shades of purple and indigo, Maya continued, "I want to make more memories with you. Adventures that capture everything we've learned." Cubby's eyes sparkled with excitement. "There's so much left to explore. Have you ever seen the hidden cave on the other side of the river?" Maya's face lit up with curiosity. "A hidden cave? No. What's inside?" "Only one way to find out," Cubby said with a playful grin as he stood up, stretching his powerful limbs. "Come on, let's go." With renewed vigor, they set off together along a winding path that led them deeper into the heart of the jungle. Each step felt lighter than before as they traversed familiar terrain, while also embracing uncharted territories that lay ahead. When they reached the riverbank, the water glimmered like glass beneath the moonlight. Cubby bounded forward effortlessly through shallow waters, while Maya carefully followed behind. Together, they crossed with laughter echoing off rocks as they splashed each other playfully. Upon reaching the opposite bank, Cubby pointed toward an overgrown thicket that seemed to conceal an entrance. With excitement bubbling within her chest, Maya pushed aside branches to reveal a dark opening, a cave that beckoned them closer. "I can't believe we found it," she exclaimed as they ventured into the cool darkness, guided only by faint beams of moonlight filtering through gaps above. Inside, the cave glittered with crystals embedded in stone walls, nature's jewels sparkling in shades of blue and green. Mesmerized by their beauty, Maya marveled at how this hidden world had existed all along while remaining undiscovered until now. "This place is incredible," she said breathlessly as Covey explored nearby formations with wide-eyed curiosity. As they wandered deeper into this enchanting space, Maya realized how their adventures reflected not just a reconnection, but also a promise for the future, a commitment to continue exploring life side by side. New memories awaited them around every corner. Emerging from the cave hours later under a blanket of stars, Maya looked up at the vastness above, the same sky that had watched over her childhood adventures. She turned to Covey, her heart swelling with gratitude for their journey together. "Thank you for being my friend," she whispered sincerely. "I promise we'll have many more adventures." Covey nudged her affectionately in response. "And I'll always be here, no matter what." With those simple yet powerful words hanging in the air between them, both Maya and Covey understood that their unique bond would carry them forward into whatever awaited beyond the horizon, together as guardians of nature and companions on this journey called life. The promise of countless adventures lay ahead, waiting for them to embrace all that was yet to come.